Alright, let's go. So, it is a bright morning, about mid-May. 2 months since you first arrived in Tours. Since your first arrival, God, well, fuck. Jenna, fuck, I forgot your character's name. Jenna has been since imprisoned. In isolation. Still receiving 3 meals a day. But getting very minimal contact with others outside. In fact, although you are being constantly under watch, ensuring that you don't get the means to escape or to recreate what you have done. As for the others, you're all enjoying tours. Emile has been allowed and actually has been fronting the trade between Tours and Bourges for Tours spices and Vichy's cheese and Bourges cheese. And always accompanying Emile, as always, is Clive. Clive has been since very much welcomed amongst everyone. Jenna's notes have been studied relentlessly over these past few months, and although it will be a very long time before any true cure can be found, they are working on it. The scientists in Tours are working on it. Among as in fact, this morning, you all find that Clive is actually returning back from Bourges with Emile. Emile is coming back with Clive. Their arms looped together. A cart being pulled by a horse, driven by a very familiar German. As well as a very familiar Italian. Luigi and Klaus engage in conversation, talking about what it's like. Klaus has actually been a very big help to Luigi since Clive had left the German ranks as soon as the war was put on standstill. And Luigi has taken a good friendship, a good kinship with Klaus after leaving the camp that he, up until about a month and a half ago, had been staying and had believed wholeheartedly in the teachings of the commander there. But thanks to you, all of you, and your kindness towards him and your words, especially you, Renata, helped him see that this is not right. It was not right at that
This is not
camp.
the way.
It was not the way. And with blueprints of the camp, as well as supplies, Luigi stumbled in with a broken arm, but is currently in a sling. Nearly healed now. Nearly fully healed at this point. And was actually an excellent help in clearing out the camp that you had all been imprisoned in. And as the summer draws in and the warmth of the sun peeks over the horizon, you're all welcomed to the beautiful sight around you of a thriving city. And it is thriving. There is countless fields of food being harvested and tended to, and an apiary is the one for the bees.
Yes,
Apiary. And a huge apiary with several colonies of bees, all very big bees, but they do produce a very sweet, an almost savory honey that helps with baking and all kinds of goods and medicines. And what do you guys do now that it's finally, you're here, you've settled in, after the events of your first arrival, that thing you had explained to Ben, Jean-Claude, and Hans, what had happened, how you had all been fooled by Jenna. What do you find yourselves doing? How do you plan on spending your days?
Yeah, guys, how do you plan on spending your days while I'm in jail?
Renata would likely split her time between her circus family and I don't know, helping people, being outside.
That reminds me. Shortly after your arrival, Renata, your family arrived, and after everything had been explained, a grand performance was brought up. And it seems that these days of not needing to travel long distances has really improved their performance. It was already grand. They've been able to practice more thoroughly and under far safer conditions now that they're not constantly taking down and putting back up their
the troop.
Yes, basically. And that you have constant feasts with your family, and there's much Italian speaking and terrible Italian accents to go around.
Plenty lots.
How sweet.
What about you, Elise?
Elise tries to set up like a little area where she can like mend clothes or like anything that really just needs repairing.
Nice.
Fix up everyone's little clothes, maybe make some like cloth dolls if there's any kids. Stuff like that.
And you're thriving. They've found a way to make they've found been able to make cotton. In fact, there's an entire field dedicated strictly to cotton. So there is no shortage of fabric or yarn or any kind of thread.
Everyone's gonna have the fanciest clothes for the apocalypse.
Oh,
it's gonna
yeah.
be great.
Emil, you can just type this, but would it be safe to say that you would be spending your days with Clive and traveling back and forth between Tours and Bourges to see your mother? We're going to say yes. Emil, if you are typing, I don't know what channel you are typing in. So I'm going to assume that you spend your days doing that. Oh, speaking of Clive, actually, Clive has now been welcomed into the Bourges camp, whereas before, when you were there, he was not allowed in. But over time, everyone has grown more accepting of the knowledge that Clive can't turn them. He's not contagious. He may certainly look it, but he is now welcome inside the walls of Bourges.
Yippee.
And can once again have meals with the men that he called friends.
I'm glad that they're letting him back in.
Yeah.
Sorry, gang. I'm still like half out of things right now.
I got you. Was it safe to say that you were spending your days fronting the trading between Tours and Bourges?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
That was definitely very accurate.
Awesome. I'm gonna take
As long as it doesn't have to be separated from Clive.
Yeah. I'm gonna take some artistic liberties, as because Jean was a spy, but also a nurse. I'm going to say that Jean would spend most of her days, helping being a nurse, but also helping to, unlock the secrets of Jenna's notebooks.
Clive and Emil are like the, you know what? Oh my God, Jesus Christ! You know in adoption agencies where they have like two cats and it's like, please do not separate. They're bonded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lily, what do you do?
Give me like 2 seconds.
Okay. We're not like recording or anything, so I also have 0 editing skills too. So I think there's an editing thing in the Streamlabs.
Sorry. I was grabbing my laundry. More.
Oh, okay. Fucking nerd.
I should do that sometime.
First, I want to visit Jenna. Not
Oh.
say anything. Just watch.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna hurt me again?
No. Just watching.
Creepy.
And then I'm gonna go out to the field that our fight happened on.
Oh, speaking of, before we continue on with that, I forgot to mention that. Sorry to interrupt. You can finish up with your laundry while I do this. It's gonna be super quick. The area where you had that fight, where the cloud of the infection of the virus had been let out. The ground had been scorched. In order to ensure that nothing was affected by it. After a few days, a few plants began to regrow, but just to be on the safe side, anything that regrew within the first 2 weeks was scorched to ash. But now, 2 months after, it is finally beginning to show signs of life again. Sorry, continue.
Well, I'm gonna go out there. And I'm gonna eat a raspberry.
And before you, the man you know as Atlas appears, looking about the city about you, smiling as he always does, before his eyes land on you, those strange, opalescent eyes. Hello.
Hello, Atlas.
You have come far. You were able to choose correctly.
Well, Atlas, I made new friends. And they're great. I love them. But I lost my mom. She was the reason I did this. So, you once said that you had to have a willing person to become a vessel for you. And I am willing to be your vessel.
He looks at you, tilting his head strangely. His smile remains, but there's a tension behind it. You do understand that upon doing this, there is no return.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you made your goodbyes?
No. But I think they'll know.
Atlas straightens up. And to anyone who would happen to be watching or seeing this, they wouldn't see Atlas because you guys haven't had any strawberries.
Raspberry.
Raspberries. That's what it was. Raspberries. You guys haven't had any raspberries. But what you see, Lily, is Atlas closing his eyes. And you see him. Although he's still smiling, there's a difference to this. Is not the usual smile you've seen. This is not his smile. This is someone else's smile. Someone else's smile of relief. As you see Atlas reach up and cup your cheeks in his hands. And the moment his hands touch your face, you feel him seem to push into you. But as his fingers push into your face, the parts that were like his fingertips, you still feel them in you. But his fingertips turn to ash. And anyone watching would see dust begin to blow from Lily's face. And then his hands push into you, and his hands turn to dust and ash. Until eventually, you close your eyes. When you open them again, you see the world in almost ethereal light. Everything seems so much brighter, almost shimmery, as memories from millennia flood your mind. You see the dawn of man. You see as humanity became what they are, as they went from cavemen to sapiens from the entire history of humanity, in the blink of an eye, up to this moment, floods your mind. And anyone watching would see as the last of the dust billowed away from Lily, she vanishes. As Lily's eyes turn from... What color were your eyes? Brown?
Green.
Green? They turn from green to opalescent. And you see some things that you had never seen before. Figures in the distance that you don't recognize. But even though as far away as they are, you can see every detail of their face. And though you don't know them, Atlas. No. 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 Not Atlas. Uriel.
Holy shit, the true name.
The Archangel Uriel. He recalls who he is, what he was sent down here to do, as he sees his brothers in the distance watching on. And he smiles. And it's not your smile. Not anymore. And it may not be your smile for a while. But it is Atlas's smile. As you turn, you realize it's not you commanding your feet. And even if you were to try to will your feet to move elsewhere, you find that you can't. You are now Uriel, and Uriel is now you, and along with his memories, you have another person's memories, though he is gone, though his name forgotten to him, but now remembered by Uriel. Totally not forgetting what his name was.
Ooh.
He had a name of Levi. An ancient name from an ancient place that you, Lily, have never been. And although this place doesn't currently have a name, if you did know of this country's name, it would have been called Israel. As the last man to have seen and welcomed Uriel, some 1,000-something years ago, finally fades. But you still have his memories. Or are they yours? Or are they his? Everything merges. But you're still there. And you're comforted knowing that you'll never be alone. As you'll have Uriel, the man you had named Atlas, is going to be with you and guiding you until someone else takes up the mantle. And that is what Lily sees. And in the spot that you had been standing, a sprout appears. The beginnings of a raspberry bush. Does anyone have any questions?
I forgot to say goodbye.
So that was really cool.
Thank you.
Didn't even say goodbye. How rude.
Yeah, what a bit. I think it's really cool that Mystery Man is 1,000 years old. Because
Yeah.
I thought the cycle was a bit more like linear, if that makes sense. Like of the fact that he was like, he was like physically 80.
Emil, I can't hear you.
It's been like 60 years. There's been a post change. I didn't realize that.
We can barely hear you, but I can understand what you're saying. Yeah, you're saying like how it's interesting that he was like 1,000 years old.
Yes.
But he looked.
Sorry if you can't really hear me.
Oh, that's so much better. That's so much better. You sounded like a million miles away from your mic.
Is this better? Is
That's
this better?
Yes, that is infinitely better.
Okay. Cool. Oops, sorry.
You're good.
My mic is being weird because I'm technically in my headphones.
Mm.
But yeah, you picked up on it, yeah. It was just really cool that he wasn't more like 80 years old, but he was more like 1,000 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, so Sophia dropped that on me last night, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I know what's happening now.
Man, that's gonna be so weird. The next time someone picks up a raspberry, they're gonna figure out what happened to Lily.
Mm-hmm. Assuming one of you guys picks up a raspberry, if someone else picks up a raspberry, years in the future,
True.
they're not going to know who that is. They're just going to be
True.
another person.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, the chances of one of us not having a raspberry in the next couple years in game is pretty unlikely.
Speaking of, would anyone want a raspberry?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm nom. Yep, and nom down.
So what you see is a young woman with opalescent eyes and a patient smile. And although the features are very similar to Lily, this isn't Lily. There's an ancientness and a knowingness in that face that is very, very reminiscent of some other face that you can't quite recall. All you can remember are the eyes. Because as you remember, whenever you're not looking at as you know him, Atlas, all you can remember are the eyes.
True.
But as you look upon this person, you want to associate this with Lily. But this isn't Lily. And as you're about to ask who they are, they speak. Hello. We meet again. You have managed to make the correct choice.
Yay.
And you recognize this person as Atlas. Of course it's Atlas. Who else could it be? Although you see Lily, you see not quite Lily. But how could you possibly forget those opalescent eyes, that smile, the hair? How could you forget any of that? The youthful face, the youthful feminine face. Like, how could you forget that? This is Atlas.
Where's Lily?
Lily
I'm unmuted.
is here.
What the fuck?
Lily has given her vessel to me. It has been many years since I had received a new vessel.
So it's like, is her spirit like moved on now, or is she still like technically here?
Lily is with me.
Okay.
And Lily, if there's anything that you would like to say, just message me and Uriel will pass on the message.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I gave Lily the option of voicing Uriel, but she didn't think she could do the voice properly.
That's fair.
So, to be fair, this is not an easy voice to do.
No.
Well, you chose it.
Yes, I did, and it was worth
Well,
it.
his voice is very interesting.
Yeah.
His voice is very interesting.
It goes from high to even higher, as well as a few low notes.
Very interesting.
It's very hard to do.
Rest in peace, Lily, I guess.
R.I.P.
You see an
Okay.
amused smile cross Atlas's face, as he has not yet introduced his real name. As he says, Lily wishes to impart a message. She says you do not remember, but his old body was old and decrepit. I think this is an upgrade. And you see as he like his eyebrows furrow for a second as his eye seems to twitch as he like try and forces a wink. This is very clearly something that he has never done before. But he very clumsily winks at you. Says,
Cute.
That's funny.
I'm glad I met you guys. Maybe I'll see you guys around.
Except Jenna.
Except Jenna.
It's not included in what Lily says, but and Jenna was a bitch.
Fuck you, ghost of Jenna.
Jenna's still alive.
Oh shit, oops.
Jenna's just imprisoned.
I genuinely thought she'd been killed off.
No. Fucking, she tried.
Yeah.
Oops.
But we shut that down real quick.
Yeah.
My bad, I guess.
Oh, whoops.
Rude
Well,
ass.
she's dead to me.
I think he's dead to all of us at this point. No offense, Jenna.
So yeah. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do or say or any questions you have?
Oh shit! Did the name get revealed?
Not yet.
Ooh,
Would you like to ask him if he remembers anything?
sure. Do you remember what your name is?
He smiles. I do. It was a name passed down to me by my father. He named me Uriel.
Uriel.
And to
That's
those
a good name.
who had been raised Catholic, that name immediately strikes a chord. As
Not
the
necessarily-
Archangel Uriel. But he doesn't seem to let you in on that. Not quite. And my question is, you guys didn't have to ask Uriel questions. It could be like me too. So
Oh yeah. Oh, what's a good question?
because now I'm no longer constrained by anything to tell you anything.
True. So you've already said what your original plans were for George and Clive, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So George was. You guys actually were not going to really encounter George again. You would have seen him in the distance, but you wouldn't have really encountered him. Clive was originally going to be at the gates of, upon finally reaching Tours, Clive would be reaching the point just before he was no longer himself. And you would have had to upend your part of the deal as of ending him before he became mindless.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember that part. Oh god, are there any mysteries that have not been revealed? Rest of the party?
Not that I can think off the top of my head. But I also have an awful memory.
Were there any other mysteries, DM?
Not that I can think of. So,
What's gonna happen to me?
you're going to be imprisoned for the rest of your days.
Huzzah!
Either going further into madness from because literally you're gonna have nothing to do. The only thing you're given is food, and then all utensils are promptly taken away from you, so you can't. And your cell is checked every once in a while to ensure that you have absolutely nothing in there, except for like a cot to sleep in, and they still check the cot.
Someone give this bitch therapy.
I mean,
These
it
people
ain't the
don't
death
care.
penalty.
This
True,
is the
she might be too
40s.
far gone.
This is
It
the
might be better at this
40s.
point.
Therapy
You're right,
is
you're
like
right,
not
you're right.
great.
You're right.
Therapy
Also,
is
the
like, let's do cocaine
What?
and vibrators for it. Like,
Did you
Yeah.
forget my backstory?
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Therapy did not go well for you the first time.
yeah, no.
We're
What
gonna
about
assume that
community
post-apocalyptic
service?
therapists are probably not doing that good either.
Yeah.
Therapists need therapists.
Yeah.
What about community service?
I don't
Does she
Would
Wait,
you
like-
trust her to be touching things?
We're not letting you outside.
Are you sure? I
Why'd you
promise
say
I'll
it like
do it.
that?
The reason for all of this?
What haven't
Jenna,
we
why'd you
given
say
her
it like
the
that?
death penalty?
Oh.
Like she fucked up like
Well, her
pretty much
plan
the
was
entire
to
world.
die. So you'd be giving her what she wanted.
Okay, so we'll just make her go clinically insane. Perfect.
She already is.
Yeah, great alternative,
oh, yeah.
guys.
I'm sure their plan is to make you go comatose on your own.
Rude.
Yeah.
Fucking rude.
But yeah. This was a lot of fun to
This was
make.
a very fun campaign. I'm
Yeah.
very happy with this campaign.
I made most of this up on the fly.
It
Beautiful.
was really good, though. I'm really
Thank
happy with
you.
everything.
So, does
I'm very happy that Emil and Clive get to have like a silly little like traveling like trade business.
Yeah.
A traveling trade business.
do Luigi and
Do they
Renata
get
ever
married and can
meet up
Luigi!
again?
Atlas officiate?
Luigi, come back! Luigi, come back!
Atlas can officiate. What were you saying,
Did we get
Renata?
Luigi coming back?
Luigi did come back, and Luigi has struck up a friendship with Klaus. Because Klaus left the German ranks and has been helping Luigi with leaving the encampment.
Oh, how funny. The German and the Italian become friends.
To take down the other Nazis.
Yeah. And in fact, they did. He brought blueprints of the entire place.
Holy shit.
Renata would not have thought to go looking for Luigi, but do they ever like bump into each other? Or
Oh,
does he seek
absolutely.
her out?
Oh, 100%. You are the first person he looks for.
Oh,
Whoa.
He's looking for his Italian friend that helped him see the truth.
Yippee! I'm so glad.
Like, he stumbles in with a broken arm and is specifically calling for you, Renata, in the hopes that you had safely arrived. In fact, like, so Ben, Jean-Claude, and Hans like greet him and start asking him questions, and like he's like he literally cuts them off and is like, did Renata arrive? Is Renata safe? Is Renata here?
is it
That's really
secret?
sweet.
Is it safe?
Yeah. And he goes through the same questioning as you guys did, showering and the feet, and he gets fed, and he shows them during the questioning the blueprints and every bit of information that he can give them, and they find and his story. It can be corroborated with yours about where you guys were in there,
Mhm.
and everything, and he can even point out exactly where it was on a map. So
Could y'all imagine the heartbreak if Jenna got a love interest?
Oh,
Oh no.
God. No.
Fucking
No.
imagine that.
Damn.
That would have been terrible.
yeah,
That would have been so sad.
I'm so glad that
Yeah.
none of you guys were like, you know what? Hey Jenna, you wanna like, you wanna go? Like,
You want to make your
Right.
character smooch?
yeah.
We're gonna take our little paper dolls and make them make out.
Yeah.
But how about if Jenna had gotten a romance? Because she's the one who betrayed everyone. Sorry, my partner is like laying next to me and like overhearing like bits and
I
pieces.
gotcha. Yeah.
He just went, "Huh?"
But yeah.
Yeah. Of course, Luigi would immediately be welcomed into the circus fold.
Yippee.
He's
We're
not
Italians.
great at first. But they
Of course
do
not.
find that he's really good at translating.
Yeah, he is.
No, I didn't mean like as a performer unless he wanted to perform.
Oh, okay.
I meant like as a family.
Okay, yeah. He's like,
Big
it's
Italian
like home. It's like home.
Jesus.
We love Luigi in this household.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Well,
Mhm.
maybe he would be good at knife throwing. I don't know.
Ah, maybe that'd be a cool thing to do.
Does your circus have a knife performer?
It can.
New talent.
Yeah. But yeah, that is Without a Cure.
I'm so happy. This has been such a good campaign.
Oh, thank you. I think I'm good.
I may be a
end.
little out of it, but what I'm saying is 100% true. This is a good campaign.
Thank you.
Thank you for DMing for us. It was a
course.
fabulous story.
Thank you.
Just so much fun.
Even if Jenna was a bitch.
How rude.
But so fair.
Destroyed the war.
I know.
Sorry,
that was
Jenna,
the
not
plan
sorry.
from the beginning. That was the plan from the beginning.
I can't believe you pulled like the fucking long con on us.
Right? And then it was
This campaign
unnoticed
started
for
in
so long.
September.
I need you to
This campaign
understand.
started when the school year started.
I need you to understand. I had you guys all. There was like 3 separate times I had you guys roll history checks to see if you
Failed.
remembered Jenna's fucking fumble because she rolled a 19 on stealth, but Francois rolled a 19 on perception. So he saw Jenna do something, but he doesn't know what she did. But he figured it out when everyone started getting sick.
Listen, we're just
And
really
you guys
bad at
failed
remembering.
3 times.
We're really bad at remembering.
Sometimes. But also that data was at the very beginning.
Yeah.
We were not locked in yet.
No.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition that early.
That's true. That's true.
That early. Like, even the fucking first cat gave it away.
I don't know why nobody picked that
also-
up. I think by that point, Jenna, you had enough good like standing in the party for no one to think too much about it.
That was the first session.
You don't go to a session thing. You don't go to a thing of someone's gonna betray you.
Cats more recently,
Also-
like the mutant cats.
Also, so I actually had to stop Jenna at one, like Jenna was like, "Hey, there's this thing I want to do," and I had to be like, "Yo, don't do that. That's probably not going to work out in your favor." Jenna was planning on poisoning Jean because Jean was a nurse.
Oh my
And
god.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that Jean as a nurse would know the signs of poisoning.
That would have been insane.
One would think.
That would have been insane.
So the plan was Jenna was going to, throughout the campaign, Jenna was going to slowly poison Jean.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. As I said last time, we may suck at noticing things or remembering things, But damn if we aren't good at handling shit when it comes up.
Exactly.
I know,
Yeah.
this is bullshit. Though I also didn't really get to do what I wanted to do in the last section either.
What was that? Other than
Actually
kill us all.
try to, try to get to the water supply, but you didn't let me leave.
Yeah.
Because we were short on time.
Yeah.
So you just revealed me right there.
I didn't reveal you. You actually got a natural 20 on your fucking stealth.
Yeah, and then you revealed that I was still there. The stealth was for me to leave.
I thought the stealth was for you to give out the gas.
Oops.
I thought that's what you were stealthing.
Damn.
For me to leave.
Oh.
Oh.
That was some miscommunication there. I do apologize.
Hey,
I
we
don't-
won.
Because then it became easy mode for me to lose.
I would have still tried to find some way for them to be able to succeed.
Yeah, the DM's on your side.
Yeah! Yeah, I am!
On the side of truth and justice.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry
friendship.
for not wanting the entire world that I've been spending so long to build. I don't
power of
want it to,
friendship
to
wins, Jenna.
crumble. Sorry.
I pose
Protect
dramatically
world from
Power Ranger style.
devastation. Unite all peoples within our nation.
Come on, guys, pose up with me Power Ranger style. We gotta do an epic pose in front of Jenna.
I thought you were... Wait, who was doing the Team Rocket?
That was me.
I was like, wait! This isn't Power Rangers, this is Team Rocket!
I'm trying to be the Power Rangers. I think Elise is trying to be. Well, hold on. Wait. Who's trying to be Team Rocket?
Elise.
No, I didn't say
Ah, I
anything.
was right. Yes.
Oh.
I didn't say anything.
Oh,
Wait.
I'm just
Well,
hallucinating?
who's trying to be Team
Renata?
Rocket?
Renata.
Renata, okay, cool. I'm just hallucinating. Cool, awesome.
Holy
Good to
shit,
know.
sorry.
Alrighty.
Me and Renata, we're trying to pose up on Jenna.
Right?
I'm gonna end the recording there.